The War of Dutch Independence, 1566 to 1609. Background: the 17 separate provinces of the territory were called the Netherlands, or the Low Countries, because of the flooding that kept large portions of them under water. These lands were one of the richest and most populous regions of Europe, an international leader in manufacturing, banking, and commerce. Rivers, lakes, and flooded plains separated the northern provinces where Germans had settled and Dutch was spoken from the southern provinces where French was the background and language of inhabitants. Charles V attempted to unify the provinces by removing them from the jurisdiction of the Holy Roman Empire and establishing a separate regency under his eldest son Philip II. Future rebellions. Primary reasons for rebellions throughout the land could be classified into two: resentment towards the Spanish authority and religious tensions. In the decades preceding the war, the Dutch became increasingly discontented with Spanish rule. A major concern involved the heavy taxation imposed on population, while support and guidance from the government was hampered by the size of the Spanish rule. Spain also attempted a policy of strict regulations, uniformity from the Catholic Church within its domains, and enforced it with the Inquisition. The Reformation meanwhile produced a number of Protestant denominations, which gained followers in the 17 provinces. This includes the Lutheran movement of Martin Luther. Charles V of the Holy Roman Empire began the gradual abduction of his several crowns. His son Philip II took over as a sovereign of the Habsburgs Netherlands, which at the time was a personal union of 17 provinces with little in common. Philip did not govern in person but appointed Emmanuel Filbert as governor-general to lead the central government. In 1559 he appointed his half-sister Margaret of Parma as his first regent, who governed in close cooperation with Dutch nobles like William, Prince of Orange. Philip II initiated a scheme to reform the hierarchy of the Church by expanding the number of bishops. Leading Protestants, such as Prince William of Orange, urged Margaret to adopt a policy of toleration. The resistance of nobles matched by the active resistance of the Calvinists, so Margaret agreed to limited toleration. In 1566, angry Calvinists unleashed a storm of iconoclasm before it could be put into effect and destroyed Catholic art and decoration, which they claimed were idolatrous. This was the iconoclastic fury. The result of the iconoclastic fury. In April 1567, Margaret reported to Philip that order has been restored. However, by the time this news reached Philip in Madrid, the Duke of Alba had already been dispatched with an army to restore order. Alba took over command and Margaret resigned in protest. Alba established the Council of Troubles, soon to be nicknamed the Blood Council, on 5 September 1567, which was a court to punish participants. The council handed more than 9,000 convictions, 1,000 of which carried the death penalty. Protestants into rebellion. Alba policies drove the Protestants into rebellion. The Spanish government was forced to maintain its army by raising taxes from the provinces that remained loyal. Consequently, they revolt over taxation and local autonomy. In 1572, the Protestants launched a series of successful assaults and established a permanent base in the northwestern provinces of Holland and Zeeland. In 1573, Alba had been relieved of his commands when his tactics had failed. By 1575, the Protestants had gained a stronghold. Moreover, Prince William of Orange assumed the leadership of the two provinces. The Spanish Fury. In 1576, mutinous Spanish troops sacked Antwerp, the wealthiest city in Europe, so that a third of the city burned to the ground, which ended Philip's rule over his Burgundian inheritance. In order to achieve a settlement in 1576, the Spanish government conceded local autonomy and taxation, and the provinces united against Spain. This was the pacification of Ghent. Results of the Spanish Fury. Union of Arras was an accord signed on 6 January 1579 in Arras, under which the southern states of the Netherlands expressed their loyalty to the Spanish King Philip II and recognized his governor-general. Later, in 23 January 1579, a treaty called the Union of Utrecht was signed in Utrecht, the Netherlands, unifying the northern provinces of the Netherlands, until then under the control of Habsburg Spain. The Union of Utrecht, regarded as the foundation of the Republic of Seven United Provinces, which was not recognized by the Spanish Empire till the 12 Years' Truce. Moreover, Maurice of Orange, William's son, at the age of 20, was appointed to the position of Captain General of the Dutch Army in 1587. In 1588, Invisible Armada occurred, which led to weakening and bankruptcy of Spain. 12 years truce. The military upkeep and decreased trade had put both Spain and the Dutch Republic under financial strain. Spanish success in the south were outweighed by the long-term failure of Spanish objectives in the north. On 9th April 1609, a ceasefire was signed in Antwerp between the Habsburgs ruler Spain, the southern Netherlands, and the Dutch Republic, marking the end of the Dutch Revolt and the beginning of the 12 years truce. The treaty formally recognized the independence of the Dutch Republic.